Hello everyone, Ronald Damp here, doing a little update on my Brazilian rainbow boas. Just wanted to bring them out and show you guys, and it's been a little bit since I've done a video. This is Janine. This is my largest female. This is the Wipeout pattern morph. I had purchased her from B.R.B.s. If you guys remember my previous videos. She's doing absolutely great. She is, like I said, she's getting really big. She's fitting on medium rats right now, which I'm keeping down to once every 2 weeks, because that's a big meal for her. And she's got girth to her, and she is doing great. No problems, no illnesses. She is pretty large. She is of breeding size, but I don't know if I'm gonna make the breeding season or not this year. I'm just, I just moved to my new place here, established a reptile room, got all the conditions right, and I don't have a viable male to breed with. I got Tick in the mail. He's my new Brazilian from Triple Reptile, if you guys remember. But he went through a short quarantine, and he's parasite free. He is now in the room in a separate enclosure in the rack system, and I feel he's probably okay to go ahead and be where he's at. He's doing okay. He hasn't ate again since, so I'm not really sure what that's all about. But I'll get him out here in a second. So, anyways, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to breed her this year or not. I don't know. I'm trying. I need to be patient. That's what everyone tells me. Patience. Breeding requires patience. You can't rush it. And man, I don't want to wait another year. But I got to get everything right. I got to get the conditions right. I got to get their cool down periods. Where you cool them off and get that down right. So I never bred before. I've kept snakes my whole life since I was a kid, and I've had all different kinds. So I know how to take care of them. I just don't know how to breed them. So. I don't know, it may not be for me. I may breed once, I may produce a litter, and I may not like it. I may be like, oh man, I don't want to do this again. So, but only one way to find out, and that's to do it. So, it's one of those things I have to do. In any case, Brazilians are my favorite snake, one of my favorite snakes. I have lots of favorite snakes, but they're a snake that's always held very, very highly. They're very close to my heart. Ever since I was a kid. Rainbow boas, oh man, the Brazilian rainbow boas. Such a gorgeous animal. So, she's doing good. Whoop, 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 whoop. Careful, careful. Sorry, sweetheart. Snakes like to be supported. They like to be supported. When they don't feel supported, they freak out. That's why they grip your hand so tight, because they think they're gonna fall. So, all right, let's go get the next one. All right, everyone. This is Mona. This is the... Excuse me, get my chair closer here. This is Mona. She is the little baby I bought at the Pomona Reptile Show from B.R.B.s. She is doing awesome too. She's doing absolutely great. Great feeder. She's actually on, get her to loosen up here a little bit. She's on wean mice. So not adult mice, but the ones in between hoppers and adults. So, and she's doing good. And that's a nice meal for her. And I'm usually going 7 to 14 days on her, on meals. She's grown quite a bit. She's the same size that Ike was when I first got him. She's growing, she's doing great, no problems, and oh man, I like her pattern. I'm really looking forward to seeing what she looks like when she's large. So yeah, she's doing great. Mona. I called her Mona, right? Mona. Because I got her from the Pomona Reptile Show. So I figured, I need a female name. Mona. That sounds good. And she's all tight around my thumb. Look at that. See, she doesn't want to fall. You're alright. You're alright, Mona. So, yeah, she's doing good. Alright. Here's Ike. Here's the hypomelanistic male. And as you can tell, he has grown. He is also doing well. He's one of the snakes, him and Irene are the other, Irene's the pearl phase that I have, the other female that I'm going to show you in just a minute. These two snakes here are the ones that came down with a respiratory infection. Oh, let me tell you what, and it wasn't over yet. When I took them to the vet to get down in a different, Temecula, California, I don't know if you guys know where that's at. I don't live in that area anymore, but they gave the snakes Baytril antibiotic. Well, the symptoms went away, but they came back. And I'm beating myself up going, man, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? My other snakes are doing fine. And I'm being very careful not to have these snakes come in contact with my healthy ones, because the respiratory infection can be transmitted through bodily fluids. That can be excrements, through their stools, their urates, through their saliva in their mouth. It comes out if they have it really bad. So that's how it can be transmitted. At least that's what the vets have told me. It's not airborne, like some of the other diseases can be. So I'm just I'm very, very sterile, and just making sure that they don't come in contact. So, and that's another reason why I think my breeding chances this year are going to be on hold, because I want to make sure all my animals are healthy. I don't want to infect anybody else. So, with this issue that's been so prolonged. So, what I'm trying to tell you is, the dang symptoms came back. I tried nebulizing really heavy with F10. Symptoms go away. Symptoms come back. Then I've tried it for the 12 days. I've tried it for the 10 days. I've tried different methods. I've tried going hard 2 days and 1 day drying out. I've changed their setup to just, I've done a lot of different things. I'm just driving myself crazy. So I take them to a new vet here. I live in, this is the Morongo Basin area. And there's a vet here that treats reptiles. Cool, man. I'm stoked. So I took them in. I took Ike and Irene both in. And like I said, their symptoms aren't really bad, but I can still hear. Not now, I can't, but I can still hear. Well, I'll get to that in a second. I can still hear they have some kind of an issue. I'm not really sure what's going on. So I took them back in, and it's still a prolonging issue. I'm repeating myself here. The vet prescribed them a different antibiotic, and it's called, oh, I can't remember now. Hold on a second.
Ceftazidime.
That's it. Ceftazidime. There we go. Ceftazidime. Man, that's a hard word to say. Ceftazidime. Anyways, you get the point, right? I pulled it up on how to pronounce on Google to find out how to pronounce it, these crazy words. So this is a general, from what I understand, this is a general kind of broad spectrum antibiotic they can give to reptiles that can treat multiple things. But it's a lot easier on the system and on the snake than the Baytril is. So she went ahead and tried this, and I'm done with the shots again, and symptoms are subsiding. As you can see, they're healthy. they're eating, they're shedding. But like, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know what's going on. I think Irene had the infection. I think she had it when I got her, and it was underlying. It was really, I just didn't notice it until later, and it got worse. And then she passed it on to him because they came shipped together in the same box, and that is what I think happened. Because my other snakes are fine. My husbandry's not off. I'm done beating myself up. I'm done doubting myself. I'm done second guessing myself. I've been keeping snakes a long time, and I know how to keep snakes. I know how to keep Brazilian rainbow boas. I know how to keep a lot of different animals. I do a lot of research, and I give myself credit because I need to give myself credit because my husbandry is on cue. My other snakes are fine. So something's up with these guys, and I don't know what it is. I just think that, man, sometimes it's hard to get rid of the infection, the respiratory infection, if it's deep in the lung. And I think that was the case with her. But they have a follow-up appointment with the vet and next week. And so we're going to find out what treatment to go further. She gave me a couple different options. There's like nebulizers they can give you. We can do some samples of their stool, blood. There's all different kinds of things. I don't know. So frustrating. I wish I could just tell you guys and give you updates on Ike and Irene and say, oh, they're doing great. But man, I've been fighting this thing for a long time. So, but they're not ill. I mean, they're not doing bad. They're doing good. They're shedding. I'm keeping it at bay, so I don't know. But whatever it takes, I'm going to do. I don't care how much it is. I'm going to have to just pay it and make sure the animals are healthy. Because I love my snakes. I love these guys. They're my passion. They're my life. So anyways, there's Ike. I'm going to go get Irene now. Alright guys, here she is. Here's Irene. She hasn't grown as much, but that's especially because she's larger, so her growth rate has slowed down substantially compared to Ike. Ike's still young, so his growth rate is higher than hers. So, but she's still shedding. In fact, she just shed. She just shed yesterday morning, early morning, I think. So she's brilliant right now. Absolutely brilliant. Every time people see her, like the people in the vet, they're like, they can't believe how pretty she is. I get so many compliments on her. She has this lighter coloration to her. They call her a pearl phase because of the pearl crescents here on the side of her. But her overall coloration is lighter. She's almost like what they would call like a visible het hypo. But I don't think hypos are visible in Brazilian rainbows. I don't know. I'm not a genetic master. I'm just throwing it out there so you guys understand what I'm talking about. She almost looks like she would be like in some snake species that if they're het for hypo, they're visibly lighter color in coloration, but yet not a full hypo. It's almost like that's what she is, but she's not. She's just a really light colored, lighter colored pearl. I don't know. That's why I want to breed her. I want to breed her with Ike, my hypo, and see what we get. I want to see what happens. I've seen one other posting of a snake for sale. They were calling it a pearl hypo, and beautiful. It was a beautiful snake, and it was like $900, $700, $800, something like that. The guy wanted it for it, and this was on kingsnake.com. Really tempted to buy it. But like I said, I don't know the genetics on that yet. I don't know how those mix. I don't even know if the pearl phase is a recessive or dominant trait. I don't know. So, but anyhow, she's the one also that has, I think she had the respiratory infection. Back to that again, because this is something that I want to talk about, because if anyone else out there has been struggling with this problem with their snakes, man, it's just weird. I think she had it really bad. I think she had it pretty deep in her. But as you can see, she's doing good. She still isn't the best eater. She's not like other snakes that I have that you throw a rat in there every week, every 7 days, and she's gobbling it up. She doesn't do that. She'll go 2 weeks and she'll eat a small rat. She's not a big eater. She just hasn't been. And I don't know if that has anything to do with this little cold that she's had for quite some time. That is very possible. Harder for her to breathe, so she doesn't want a big meal as frequently. Because think about it, her lung is here, and this food has to pass through there. And if she's eating a big meal, it's hard for her to breathe if she's having problems, right? That's what I figure. That's my guess. So, but she's active. She's healthy. She's got good weight to her. She's not overweight. So, her eyes are clear. Eye caps are good. So, there's Irene. All is well. Just gotta figure out. I'm just hoping that this cold doesn't come back again. Her little pneumonia or respiratory infection or whatever you want to call it. I hope it doesn't keep coming back because I've been dealing with it for too long. She's been dealing with it for too long. Not me, her, and Ike. So, all right, let's go get the last one, the newbie here, the new arrival, Tick. Okay, got the last one. And yes, I sprayed down with F10 veterinary sanitizer, F10 products, because I was holding Irene and she could still be potentially infected, and I'm holding a new snake that I don't want infected, so I sanitized my arms and my hands really good and wiped down with a paper towel afterwards. Actually, the stuff doesn't even hurt the snake. I didn't have to do that, but it was dripping all over the place. So, anyways, here's Ike. Here's Tick. This is the new one, my new snake that I got, new male from Triple Reptiles. He is an import, and you could probably see that he's an import because he's not as nice looking as the other ones, and he's a little thinner. He's still getting situated and used to his environment here. So he hasn't ate. What was crazy when I first got him, man, I set him up in a temporary Rubbermaid enclosure because I didn't know if the mites were still alive. You know, real quick, Triple L Reptile may have demited him before when they sent him to me, because when I got him out of the bag, there was a lot of dead mites and a lot of blood. I'm thinking they may have treated him prior to shipping, so I can't really badmouth Triple L Reptile too much for not, doing whatever, because I treated him once, twice with some mite solution, the stuff you spray on, and boom, gone, no problems. I don't know, who knows? I really wasn't bad mouthing Triple L Reptile. They shipped him to me healthy, alive, and the packaging was good, everything was good, it arrived on time, everything was normal. Okay, he had a tick on his lip. Okay, so maybe he had a tick, all right? I don't know. All I said on my video last time was I wish that, I would have made sure there weren't any parasites on him before I ship him out. But with that being said, here's Tick. He's tick-free and mite-free. So that's a big plus, right? And he ate. When I first got him, he ate. He ate a mouse, a large mouse, and then I got overzealous and I fed him a small rat, and he ate it. But then he threw it up. Ugh, I was so mad at myself. And this wasn't on the video, guys. It was after I filmed. But he only threw up the large rat. I didn't see the small rat. I didn't see the mouse in his throw up. in his regurgitated meal. So good. So at least he was able to maintain his mouse in his belly, so he did get some nutrients. So say you guys, you have to be patient. You cannot get overzealous. You can't get ahead of yourselves with these animals. You got to be patient. You got to be gentle, and you got to let them. You just have to. I got excited because he ate right when I got him home, and I fed him tried to fatten him up. I fed him another meal that was bigger, and he threw it up. So, and he hasn't eaten since. So I'm really bummed about that. I don't know if it has anything to do with him throwing the meal up. I just think that he ate 2 weeks ago and he's not hungry yet, and he's still getting used to his enclosure. But today is a day that I'm feeding. I'm going to be feeding them after I get done with this video, and I'm going to feed them. And the reason I didn't film feeding him is because I didn't want any problems. I wanted, if he did happen to eat and I'm sitting there filming, I didn't want him to throw it up. I didn't want him to spit it out. This is going to take some finesse and some really quiet environment and just all of my little tricks. I have some tricks up my sleeves. I'm going to try to get him to eat. So he's tamed down quite a bit. He's not trying to bite me as much as he was. Look at him. He's good, man. He hangs out. He's a little head shy. He still protects his head, like a wild snake would. But he's drinking water. He's urinating. His urates. He's passing all his stuff. He's drinking water. He's like I said, he shed when I got him, and he ate when I got him. So I just gotta get him to eat again. And he's all right. He's thin. He's definitely thin, but not so thin that I gotta worry. I just have to make sure I get some meals into him pretty soon, and I feel pretty confident that he's gonna eat eventually here. So if not this weekend, I can't get discouraged. I just gotta try again. And I haven't tried live yet. I'm trying to stay away from that because I don't want to get him hooked on live and then not go to frozen thawed. So, and he already ate a frozen thawed, so I know he'll do it. So he's much more calm. His demeanor is much more calm than it was when I first got him. He's curious. Look at how calm he is. He's crawling around. Except when he faces my face like that. He can definitely sense my heat when I'm talking, and that kind of freaks him out a little bit. But tick. So my hopes was to get him to breed with Janine, the wipeout, the very big female that I just showed you, and that may still happen this year. Don't bite me. If I can get him fed and fattened, I may try to introduce him to Janine this, hopefully, where are we at? November, we're October, November, December, January. So I still have time to cool down. I don't have to start cooling down now. Everyone does it differently. Like I know what I'm doing. I have never done this before. So I've just been going off what I read and what other people's methods are for cooling down and breeding. Some people don't even cool down. Some people just introduce, and some people think it has to do with the light cycles. So they do have natural light going through their window, so they are receiving the shortened days right now. So hopefully, maybe that'll do it. I don't know. I'm learning as I go, and I'm going to bring you guys along on the journey. So this is my update on all my snakes. I'm going to go ahead and put him back and take you into the reptile room and show you what I've done differently. I'm pretty excited about it. Alright guys, so here's my reptile room. This is what I did differently. I now have a oil-filled room heater. This one, I spent a little extra money, and I got the upgraded version that has a built-in thermostat, digital thermostat. And so this way I can control the temperature, the ambient temperature inside the room. And I close this door. So this is their own environment. So now it's getting colder at night, right? I don't want their room temperatures to drop too cold, because it's too difficult for me to maintain the proper temperature, specifically in the tubs and rack systems. You know, the rack systems are only heated by belly heat, by heat tape. Well, heat tape's only gonna warm up the air temperature so much. So if you have a room temperature that's 70 degrees, 65 degrees, and you're trying to maintain 80 degrees in the tubs, air temperature, you're gonna have a difficult time. Which means your hot spot's gonna be way too hot. Okay, these are some of the things I've learned with keeping snakes in racks. Because back in the day, we used to just have cages. We never had racks, right? I'm 41 years old, so if you guys are wondering, back in the day, I mean like in the 80s and 90s. So, all right. So this is the rack. So back to the heating. So yes, that is my heater. It works great. I keep it at 76 degrees just for now, which seems to be just right. So now I'm thinking, like in the breeding season, if I wanted to, I can drop it 2 degrees every week. Every week, that's what I've read people they do, and some people provide a nighttime drop, or some people provide an overall drop. I don't know. I haven't figured out what I'm gonna do yet, but I'll get into that later. When I start my breeding cycle, if I do attempt it this year, I'll talk about that more. But I just want to kind of go over what I've done differently in here. So yeah, there's my room heater. Big plus, big help, guys. If you have a reptile room, these are a must. I mean, it really helps so much with temperature control. And I've added a humidifier, and I just got this yesterday in the mail. This is I paid like 86 bucks for this. It's digital. It has a digital controller, thermostat. So if you want to, right now it's off. So that's just showing me that's 44% humidity in the room, but I have it set at 50% humidity. So when I turn it on, I close this door and it keeps this room at 50% humidity. What that does is it helps me maintain the proper humidity in our racks and our tubs, and our rack tub system and our cages. And let me tell you what, it has helped. And man, I'm just so happy that I actually have this room to be able to do this in. So look, for example, this thermometer is going into one of the tubs. I think it's going into Ike's. 80 degrees Fahrenheit on the cool end. On the warm end, it's 85, 86 degrees. And 86% humidity. Man, you couldn't ask for any better than that, right? And to top it all off, indented craft paper, water bowl, and a hide. That's it. No cocoa husk, no cypress mulch, no moss, no humid hide. You're asking me, why not? Well, when I got these snakes, when I was treating them for the respiratory infection, I wanted to go back to the basics. I wanted to be as clean and as sterile and simple as possible. Every time these snakes defecate or urinate, this paper comes out, it's disinfected, and new stuff's back in. Water bowls are cleaned once a week with F10 sanitizer. And everything else is, so pretty much they're kept clean. So I don't want to, in case there is some kind of a problem, I don't want anything spread. And so far so good. I've been doing a good job. So new addition, humidifier, room heater. This is Irene's cage. Hide box, cool end, water bowl, radiant heat panels. That's the warm end. 86 degrees, 87 degrees on the warm end. Large water bowls. If you have room. Okay, here's the downside to racks. I've learned already. In a rack system, especially a lot of these newer racks that you're seeing, I've seen like with Bavarian Electronics, like Reptile Basics has these new racks out, but the tubs are like this. They're like these. They're like these ones. The Vision V35 shorts. They're like only this tall. What kind of water bowl are you going to get in there? You're very limited. So back to what my point was, big water bowls are your best friend when it comes to Brazilian rainbow boas. You don't have to mist as much. Yeah, humidifier, room heater, sterile conditions. Trying to hopefully breed my snakes this year, and I don't know. Oh well. Victorville Reptilian Nation is coming up. October 27th to 28th. I'm going to be there. I'm probably going to go on Saturday and do a little filming and see what is going on. So if any of you guys are in the area and are going to the Victorville Reptilian Nation Expo, I will be there on Saturday the 27th. So cool. It should be fun. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe please to my channel. I really appreciate it. And everyone, have a good day. I'll see you later.